What is up, everybody? Welcome to the very brief live stream today, where we can answer a few of your guys' questions. So we have a little bit of an agenda today. We are going to answer a few questions that came from the Discord server. If you guys have not joined the Discord server yet, you definitely should. Also, I should probably put a link to that in the description of the video. So let me do, oh wait, you know what? I think those expire, so never mind. Anyways, it's Satisfye Gaming. I'll find a way to get a permanent link one day. So let's go through. I'll wait maybe, I will give it a couple minutes for a few more people to join. But if you guys have questions, feel free to ask now. Hello, everybody who's here. Hope you all are doing very well. Let's see. First question, Amazon UK website to save a bit on postage. Yeah, so we won't be doing Amazon UK. We actually did Amazon UK already, and we pulled out from it. It didn't really work out. Trying to sell internationally is kind of a hot mess, and it creates a lot of headaches. So for now, we'll just be shipping from the US. And yeah, and it costs a little bit of money to get those. All right. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes before I start. So on the agenda, though, let's have a look at agenda. What do we got? Okay, so plans today, we'll cover the slim case if we can for this Zen Grip Pro, if we can do an update for that. Standalone cases, we've had a lot of questions about standalone cases. Had some questions in the Discord server about mini grips, so I'll answer those. Special editions / holiday editions have been got a lot of questions about that. And then just random Q&A. If anybody has any questions, if I can answer them, I will. There are some things that I can answer. There are some things I cannot answer. Will Satisfye products be available in stores in the future? That's a good question. As of right now, no, but I am just now starting to work on kind of building like a wholesale list, working with more like mom and pop, locally owned stores throughout the US. To see if anybody wants to carry our products. So that's kind of going to be my first step into that realm. But working with like a GameStop or a Best Buy, those are behemoths. They're really hard to get into, and I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying no, but I have no plans for it currently. But we do have plans for getting in some local shops. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'm going to cover the first question we talked about. So we've had quite a few questions on this. Let me see if I can change my camera here. So let's go to this one. All right, yeah, there we go. Okay, so first question was about the slim case for the Zen Grip Pro. And sorry for the shaky, this camera mount kind of sucks. But everybody wants to know, so this is a Zen Grip Go case right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right, let's go ultra wide. There we go. Okay. So we got a Zen Grip Go case right here. We have these indents kind of pushed out on it, and you can see that on the inside. So we are considering for this next run of slim cases just to do this little pop out. Really, that's going to be for accommodating for rise pads. Rise pads do fit inside of a slim case today, inside of your Zen Grip Pro slim case. If you push on them, yes, it will click. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. That's how I roll with mine all the time. That's like the slim case is totally my go-to case. So that's what I do. Some people don't feel comfortable with that. I get it. It's not really a concern for me, but so that's something I'll look into with the factory. We are going to start manufacturing more pretty soon for the holiday season, and that is one thing that will be on the radar. If we can do it, we will. And it's not really a big thing, but it's something. It'll kind of you know, help with that compatibility with our rise pads, which are absolutely amazing. And if you don't have them, you 100% should. So next on the list, we were going to talk about, let's see, standalone cases. So we don't normally sell standalone cases. Major reason being they're expensive to make, and we just don't sell a ton of them when they're standalone. But I was thinking about it, and we might do some like short runs. So every manufacturing run, maybe what we'll do is we'll start to do these like small runs where maybe we only make 100 or 500 or whatever that number is. And then we can get everybody in on like a kind of like a pre-sale. So we can do a pre-sale for cases. So if you've been wanting a standalone case and you don't want to jump into buying a full-blown bundle, we could make that available. I would probably put it up as a pre-sale just to kind of gauge demand and figure out where that's going to be. So stay tuned for that. That might hit our website soon, and we'll drop we'll mention something about it on our social channels. Maybe we'll do another live stream or something, or a video about it, just to make you guys aware. For sure, we'll send out an email. So check our social channels at Satisfye Gaming for sure for that. But yeah, standalone cases, it's a possibility. It might be a very seasonal thing, like a once every couple times a year thing, not like we're going to just constantly have this item available on our website. But not opposed to it, so that might be a thing. I'm going to answer a question here, though. The Clip Culp. Are there any plans to make rise pads out of different materials like carbon fiber or metal? That's kind of cool. Carbon fiber metal would be dope, but my concern would be that the carbon fiber or the metal, well, one, the expense of it would be astronomical, but like a special edition would be pretty sweet. But the only problem with that is rise pads, they only last so long because the material on the top is much more of a softer material. And I mean, unless you wanted to pay a lot and just have them sit there. The other problem I could see possibly being would be that they might like eat up your joysticks and tear into them. So no plans. The answer is no, but kind of a cool idea. I like the thought behind that. So anyway, so that's standalone cases. The other things, mini grips. We've gotten a lot of questions about mini grips. Now, this is the mini grip here. If you guys don't know, this thing is absolutely amazing. I love this thing. This replaces the kind of the cheaper one that comes with your Nintendo Switch by default. There's really, I mean, we have silicone in here, right? And everybody asks, are we going to update the mini grip for like the Gen 3? To be honest, this silicone really doesn't do anything except for just kind of like it slightly protects the plastic of your Joy-Cons, but it's more ornamental than anything. And honestly, this design is just rock solid. There's really not a significant reason to upgrade the mini grip. But if you don't have a mini grip, if you haven't used a mini grip, you guys 100% should. I promise you are missing out. It will turn your Joy-Cons into like a Pro Controller feel. It's a night and day difference from what comes with the Nintendo Switch, that default little thing. And that thing kind of sucks. So especially if you throw some rise pads on it, plus the mini grip, now that feels really, really good. I actually like to use the mini grip over the Pro Controller. This sounds kind of weird, but I get used to the layouts on the Joy-Cons and the way that they are. And whenever I go from playing in handheld all the time to going to a mini grip, or I should say the Joy-Cons, the layout's different and just kind of like messes up my gameplay. So I like to keep that kind of cohesive. So even when I go docked mode, I'm still using the mini grip over a Pro Controller, and for sure with rise pads. I'll get to some more questions in a minute. Holiday editions. We 100% have a holiday edition coming out very soon. I think we're going to release the holiday edition in October. It is going to be a special edition color. It's going to be very, very nice looking. I'm excited for it. I think you guys will be very excited for it. So stay tuned for that. We are probably only going to release it. We're debating right now whether we release it as a standalone product only or with in a bundle. We might do both. We might just do standalone. We typically like to just do standalones for the limited editions now, just because almost everybody has a case who wants one, and so if they're collecting, If we did do it in a bundle, it would be a different color. We can talk about that a little bit more on Discord and have a little bit more conversation. We probably will not do a pre-order on those. We might just release them when they are in stock. If we did do a pre-order on those, it would be more like a reservation rather than a actual pre-order and just sitting on it. So not sure there. Would it be possible to make the back of the grip thinner and lose the feet to make it dockable? Okay, so that's a great question, Jesse. So making the grip dockable, it doesn't really work out well. Let me see if I got a grip. I can grab a switch. All right, let me just grab a switch real quick. Okay. Making the grip dockable. This is never going to be dockable unless we just cut, like, we'd have to completely redesign the grip. And even then, it wouldn't really be worth it. It's kind of like at its apex of perfection right now. So with the grip, let me pull that back so the glare is not so bad. We have what we call the easy in, easy out design, right? So it's just, I mean, you slide it off, you slide it in. And that was meant for, you know, docking. If you want to dock it, great. Just slide it out. It takes like 3 seconds. And then dock it and slide it back in. Done. Game over. To make this dockable, you would have to sacrifice so much. And even then, like, you know, some other companies out there, they're doing the dockable grip cases. Half the time, honestly, they're not dockable. They work sometimes, they don't work other times. It just feels when you're smashing that thing in the dock, it's just not really a good experience. And when we design things, we only design things that are like 100% gonna work or not work. We don't like to do in between. We don't like to do maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It just, that kind of a design doesn't really flow with the philosophy and like the culture of our company and brand. So long story short, we won't do it. It always feels tight, right? So Oco, I don't know how to say that name, but you're right. It always feels tight. It's a really tight fit. It feels a little sketchy. I read a lot of reviews, and I've heard a lot of customers in our own reviews say that they tried that such and such product, and it doesn't work out well. So I don't want to do anything that's kind of like Mickey Mouse. That's maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's just, it doesn't work well for the brand. We're either all in or we're nothing. About the mini grip, rise pads in white, other colors. Yeah, mini grip for sure. We could do in some other colors. Let's talk about that in the Discord. Maybe I could do a poll. If anybody wants to see a special edition mini grip, we could totally do that. We can do some special edition rise pads as well. Those are both on the table, something that's very doable for the future, 100%. Assuming there's enough demand for that and for that color, absolutely. Would it be possible? Okay, I think that's it, yeah. Wearables, we'll get to wearables. I didn't add that to the agenda, but we will get to that. Actually, we'll get to that now. So wearables. So we're thinking about doing some wearables. I'm thinking about doing some wearables, right? So like t-shirts, Satisfye shirts, hats. Someone on our team hardcore wants to do Satisfye boxers. So these are something I would like to do them, and we've always looked into doing wearables for a long time, and I just was never happy. I wanted to work directly with a factory that manufactured them, rather than just doing like, you know, kind of we partner with someone who does it, and I don't know. I like kind of owning the whole process whenever we do anything, and then having a really tight grasp on quality control. So if we do wearables, which I am really wanting to do, they will be very high quality. I want something that's going to wash 1,000 times and not get faded or go junky. Boxer, the perfect gaming accessory you did need, right? But I love, I just love like kind of like gaming loungewear. Like literally every day, I'm pretty much in a t-shirt, maybe some sweat shorts, just chilling. So I think it would be cool. I think our logo looks really, really good on a shirt. Anytime I wear one of my Satisfye shirts, I get 1,000 compliments on it. from people who are just random people anywhere. And so I do like the way they look. I think we could talk about that on Discord more if you guys want to see some Satisfye t-shirts, kind of like, I guess, merch. But we can really do anything. I just need to find a local factory in the state that we're in, because I would also like to have the whole thing made in the US. Any other questions now that we're kind of in the Q&A side of things? And boxers might look kind of cool. It's kind of an odd thing for a company like us to sell, but you never know. We do have some, we are working, I should say, on some new products. I'm not going to say much more than that, but I'm really excited for some of the things we are working on. And I think they are going to be really awesome. You guys are going to like them. So just stay tuned. Once we get more towards the completion of these items and actually releasing them, you guys will be in the know, and we can talk a little bit more publicly about them. Any more questions? Well, if there's no other questions, I'm going to say that's pretty much a video. We got to answer everything that we wanted. We can do 1,000 more of these. I like doing these live streams. I like having a chance to connect with everybody. I don't know if this time works out best for everyone, but maybe we can adjust the times. We can talk about it on Discord. Were there any updates on ZGP? So ZenGrip Pro, no updates on ZenGrip Pro this year. I'm really happy with where the ZenGrip Pro is. Yeah, the slim. I did talk about the slim case. The slim case might get an update for sure. We may. All the slim case update's going to be, it's just creating some raised bevels, right? Just like we do on the Go case, just to accommodate for larger, if you got joystick covers or if you have rise pads. So we might include that in the slim case. ZenGrip Pro, though, that's going to stay where it is. It's like in a very, very good place. I'm really happy with the design that we came up with. I'm really happy with the free flow technology that we have in there. I think it works absolutely amazing. It protects your Switch better than it ever has before. And it creates a really nice, the airflow that goes through it is clean. So no updates on the ZenGrip Pro, no upgrades on the ZenGrip Go. That's also in a good place. Mini grip, really just colors. Like, I feel like all of our products are really dialed in, thanks to you guys and thanks to all of your feedback, which is incredibly helpful. We're able to hone these products in, generation over generation to make them even better. And so that's really great. So keep your feedback coming. I love adapting to your feedback, and you guys have just a ton of good feedback to give us, and that's extremely helpful. Thank you, everybody, for coming and joining. Let's do this again. We can do this once a week. We can do this once a month. Doesn't matter to me. If you have any more questions, like, we can do literally whatever. If there's anything I can answer, even outside of Satisfye and ZenGrip Pros and Rise Pads, we can talk about that. It's really for whatever. Please do a 3DS XL grip. With the 3DS, we get a lot of those requests. The only problem with the 3DS is, and the only reason why I really wouldn't want to do one for the 3DS is because, well, yeah, good. It's out of date now. It's hard to create a product for something that isn't being made anymore, because now the audience to buy that product is so much smaller. And in fact, it's probably too small now. So the investments that is required for us to go into tooling, even just the R&D side of things and the time that it takes, I could spend hours dumping into a 3DS grip, or I could spend hours dumping into a Steam Deck grip. Like, I'd rather put my time towards the new console that's hot, that's going to sell well, rather than the outdated one. I have seen some people do some cool stuff though on Reddit with the 3D, with taking our grip and kind of cutting it in half and stitching it back together. I've seen some cool things there, but yeah, probably not a 3DS grip unless Nintendo announces a new console or a new 3DS. Then actually that would be something I would consider. Yeah, we definitely have some things in the works for Steam Deck for sure. I'm working on that, and I'm taking my time on that one. I don't really want to rush that because when we release that, I want it to be rock solid. I want it to, I just want it to be up to Satisfye par and quality. So I'm really moving slow on that one. We do have a lot of progress going on that though, and I'm really excited about the progress. It does make it feel better. And one thing I actually noticed about the Steam Deck, rise pads make a freaking huge difference. Like, I have a medium-sized hand, and for some reason, I hate the Steam Deck Joy-Cons. They feel really plastic. The joysticks, they feel super plasticky. There's not a lot of grip on them. Rise pads really make a big difference on those. But there's no rise pad that actually fits them. So I've got a solution for that too coming out. Holiday bundle to be released. Holiday bundle is probably going to be released in, I'm thinking, October. We're not 100%. Latest, it's going to be November 1st at the very latest. But I would like to be announcing that thing ideally in September, but October is a possibility too. Maybe we'll reveal it a month early just so you guys can see what it is, and we can go over that. But it's going to be super hot. I'm very excited for the holiday edition this year. I wish I could say more. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's going to be hot. Is there any plans to bring the Ultimate Gaming bundle that included? Yeah, that's a great question. So like the, what was that bundle? What do we call it? The we had two names for it, the Epic bundle and something else. Yeah, so we have been considering doing the Epic bundle again. We are going to be moving fulfillment warehouses. Actually, we're moving them right now. So we will be with a much better partner who's going to be able to handle our volume and our orders and get products from our purchased on our website to you guys much faster. In fact, where we're moving, we're only going to have a 2-day shipping option. So we're trying to create that kind of like Prime experience, that Amazon Prime experience on our website. So I'm really excited for that. That should kick off live in, I think, September. We should be live with them. And so you guys are going to have a much better purchasing experience on the site as far as shipping times go. Again, that's like 70 to 80% of the time they're delivered within 2 days. And even when you check out on the website, it's going to give you a delivery estimate of when it'll arrive, which is also really helpful for making that purchase. Once we make that move though, like kind of spiderwebbed, once we make that move, that's when we'll probably re-enable the Epic bundle, where you'll get the Slim bundle, the Elite bundle, maybe even a mini grip in there. So let's consider that. We can do two different bundles, where one is like the Epic bundle was usually everything. It was the Slim bundle, the Elite bundle. It was a mini grip. It'd probably be rise pads now. And then we can do kind of like a halfer where it's just an Elite bundle and a Slim bundle only, minus the mini grip and rise pads. Kyle, you're a little too late, but if you have a question, I've got nothing to do right now, so ask away if you have any questions. We're just about wrapping up. Thanks for the subscription, by the way, Kirk. Appreciate it. You're gonna need to, Ghostly Nick. Yeah, Ghostly Nick, we've got some limited editions coming out. I would 100% recommend it. They're gonna be awesome. What color is the holiday bundle? I can't reveal that yet, but it's a color I think every Satisfye customer and fan is going to love and appreciate. I'm excited to see the in-between case that was talked about. Oh, the in-between case in Discord, yeah. I'm a little hesitant on the in-between case. I think it's either one or the other. I think if we did, my initial thoughts when I thought about that in-between case. So if anybody doesn't know, in Discord, we've been talking about this like in-between case where it's a blend of the Elite bundle and the Slim bundle, or the Slim case or the Elite case. It's a good idea, but I don't know if that would fit really well into the existing product line, because then it would get really confusing if you're at checkout, you're trying to decide which one, and we don't sell cases standalone. That would get really confusing. Kyle, we used to sell cases individually and they just don't sell well. We get like a, you know, that bottom line, they just don't sell well. They sit there for too long and they're too expensive. They're just better in a bundle. But we will probably make some cases individually, but we're going to do those on more of like a pre-sale basis, where a couple times a year we'll announce, you know, hey, here's your opportunity to grab a Slim case or an Elite case. If you can't buy the bundle, it's going to be this price, and, you know, place your pre-order and it'll come when all the product lands. So that's probably the way we'll go, standalones. I really like the idea of giving our audience a chance and our customers a chance to buy one if they haven't, because I know that does suck that you have to go buy a bundle again in order to get one. Now you've got an extra grip, although that does make a good gift for a friend. If Satisfye could make something for the Wii U gamepad, no. Birdman, we talked about this. I won't make anything for consoles that are gone, that are in the past now. The major reason being is because there's no way to tell how many people are still playing those things and how many we can sell. And there's a lot of research and development that goes into making these products. And then once all that research and development is done, the time, the money that's been invested into it, then you have to make the tooling, and the tooling's crazy expensive. And then you have to place the order to make them. And usually they have minimum orders. So like they call that an MOQ. So it's a minimum order quantity, and you can't just order 100. You have to order 10,000. So, and that's a big investment into something that you really aren't positive is gonna sell well. Could we sell a few? All day long. Of course we could sell a few, but could we sell 10,000? I don't know. I'm a little sketchy on that. So if it's something that we're not positive is gonna bring a lot of return, we usually won't do it. It's not worth it. Any grips going to have a licensed version? Like, so Kirk, that's a good question. I would love to do some cool license stuff. Unfortunately, Nintendo will not license anything to us. They won't even talk to us. So we're too, I mean, we're smaller though. We're boutique. So I get it. You know, I'm sure they're looking for the bigger boys who can push much larger volumes than we can. We could do some licensed versions though, in like working with an indie developer, like let's say we did like a Dead Cells or something. Those are absolutely a possibility. I have looked into doing that. I kind of tabled that because we got busy making Gen 3 last year. But we have considered doing some like working with indie developers to do that. People who can, it gets really hard when you're working with giant corporations like EA or whoever, because if you don't already have those relationships built and those connections built, it's really hard to make them. Still a possibility though. It's not out of the realm. What else do we got? I have 2 cases from the original grip that doesn't fit the OLED grip. I think I have to buy a new bundle. Kawika, the grip should fit in the old cases. I've tried it in all of my old cases, the old Elite case and Slim case, and they fit fine. So I'm curious. Some pictures would be helpful if you could take some and shoot them to support@satisfye.com. Okay, that's a good comparison. This is Kyle. Like, I've already got a grip and don't care so much about the grip and colors, but the case updates are nice. I need another case. Yeah, case update for sure. The holiday bundle, is it going to have a Slim and Elite variant, right? If we do the holiday bundle in a case, right now, again, we are just thinking standalone. We may do a limited run of cases bundled with that. It'll probably be a Slim case, not an Elite case. I wouldn't do it in both, but I would do it in one, and I would probably do it in the Slim case. Really, the only reason why I would do it in the Slim case is just because the Slim bundle is a cheaper price point, so more people can jump in and get it. The Elite is expensive. Not everybody can afford an Elite version, and I get it. And I'd rather make it so that more people have the opportunity to get it. and it fits within their budget. Thank you, Ghostly Nick. We're boutique, but make the best grips in the industry. Fixed it for you. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I do think we make the best grips in the industry, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm very, very humbled with that too. I think it's really cool. So thank you for sharing that. Kyle, have you considered looking into getting some Hall effect Nintendo Switch Joy-Con analog sticks made? You'll have to explain that more. Hall effect. What is a Hall effect Nintendo Switch Joy-Con analog stick? Explain a little bit more to me. Ghosted by Nintendo. If only they knew. You know what's funny? Speaking of being ghosted by Nintendo, when we went to E3 in 2019, our booth, and I was really nervous about this, was literally right next to Nintendo's, and we had all of their people coming over to buy our grips, and they loved our grips. And then we had people from other bigger boys who have license deals with Nintendo who make the officially licensed stuff. All of their employees, I'm not going to say what company it was, but it was a big company who makes accessories for officially licensed for Nintendo. All of their employees were coming to our table to buy our products, and they were like, your products are so much better than ours. So that was funny. I don't know. I thought after 2019 E3, Nintendo would be like, yeah, we need to get these guys on board. This is way better than everything else anybody makes for us. But it wasn't the case. So it is what it is. It wasn't meant to be. Elite case is greater than the slim case. Yeah, I agree. I like my Elite case a lot. I think, oh, magnetic analog sticks. Okay. Yeah, we have things in the works that were inspired by Rise pads. So that is kind of like, we've got a lot of R&D. We always have a lot of R&D going on. Luke quotes gaming. What's up, man? Satisfye is GOAT. I hope GOAT is good. I don't know what GOAT is, but thank you. Kyle, okay, Hall effect joysticks use magnets and magnet sensors to affect where the joystick is. Oh, yeah. So basically you don't get drift. For sure. If we did do a controller and joysticks for controllers, they would 100% have to be a technology that doesn't get drift. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Of course, I'm sure that's much more expensive. Any talk of making Joy-Con only grips? Ghostly Nick. Yeah, so Joy-Con only grips, I wish I had them here. We actually moved, and we moved our office as well, so I don't have like all of my past R&D with me. But we did talk about this a lot in the Discord channel. Joy-Con grips absolutely suck. So if you took this grip and you cut off the back of it and you just had two joystick grips, I've done R&D on those for honestly 3 years before I finally trashed the idea. And I tried everything to make them amazing. And at the end of the day, I couldn't. And the reason is because this back plate is literally, I didn't even realize it, but this is the heart and soul of the Satisfye grip. This is what makes your Nintendo Switch feel so amazing in your hands. When you take this away, you just left with a flimsy McDonald's toy. And after spending all that time in R&D, I just realized like I can't sell this to my audience. Like I can't feel good about putting our Satisfye name and brand and even my name on creating this thing because it was junk. And I spent 3 years doing all kinds of different prototypes. I wish I had him here so I could show you guys how many different iterations we did. It's just a bad idea. It's never going to work. I really wanted it to. Like I thought that was like the next version of Zen Grip. But by removing that back plate, the soul was gone from the grips. Let me keep going through here. I love Satisfye. Pre-ordered the OG grip for the OG Switch, then bought a grip for my son's Switch Lite, then again bought a grip for my OLED. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate that. 4 switches and 3 Satisfye grips. I love to hear that. And you know what? Oh, greatest of all time, Ghostly Nick. Thank you. Well, I will take a goat all day long. That's dope. No, I'm talking about replacing the Switch Joy-Cons. Ah, Kyle, I gotcha. Replacing the Switch Joy-Cons like making our own Joy-Cons, basically. Yeah, that is on the table. We're always doing R&D. I've been wanting to do something like that for a while. It's just I'm a little sketched right now because of the supply chain issues with China, and trying to get electronics made anywhere outside of China is surprisingly really difficult. You can get a lot of stuff made outside of China, but electronics is they have that down pretty well. Will there be a red Satisfye grip that matches the Mario Red Switch? You will have to wait and see, Spawn. You will have to wait and see. I can't say anything right now. Kyle, there's one for the Steam Deck coming out recently. Look up Ghoulie Kit electromagnetic joystick module for Steam Deck. Okay, so they're doing like... So I wouldn't want to replace... So I'm going to look that up right now. Let's see. Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's cool if you're willing to take apart your Steam Deck, but I watched a video on how to take that apart. I'm not willing to break mine like that. Some people could 100% do it. I've taken apart the Switch to change out shells and the Joy-Cons to change out shells, and that wasn't too bad. I could see taking apart a Joy-Con or like an Xbox controller, but to pull apart a $400 to $600 or $700 Steam Deck, that is also incredibly difficult to replace if you do mess it up. Like, even if you broke it and you wanted to get another one, you can't get another one. At least not yet. So I don't know. I'm not really interested in making joysticks for like replacement joysticks. I just don't think there's a big enough market of people willing to tear apart their console, their portable PC to make that happen. I have some larger aftermarket Joy-Cons, forget the brand, and I really think you're right about the backplate. Yeah, they feel flimsy. They really do. Kawika, that was my experience. So I have if a new product comes on the market, I'm at Amazon and I'm buying it, whether it's Binbok or whatever. Honestly, like, some people love that stuff. They love the Hori D-pad or the split pads. I don't. I got them and I was really excited. Like, I thought, like, hey, maybe like, I love seeing people come up with really creative ideas. But what I hate seeing is someone take a good idea like the split pads and then completely botch it by just doing them as cheap as possible. And I don't like that. I hate things that feel like garbage in my hands. That's why our grip feels really high quality. You know, they just feel, I don't like the way they feel. Will you make Switch or Switch Joy-Con shells? I don't know. In post, I mean, we could make a shell. They're not hard to make. I don't know if there's a huge demand, but if there's a demand, yeah, we could make shells for sure. Now, when you say a Joy-Con shell, do you mean replacing the plastic that holds the Joy-Con together or something that wraps over the Joy-Con? So if you'll confirm on that. I would absolutely love to see you guys recognized by Nintendo. I would too. We need to start some kind of movement. I agree. I think you should start it for us. I think that would be a good job because there is no recognition right now. It's easy enough, Kyle, it's easy enough, and permanent removal of Joy-Con drift would be a huge market, larger than you think. Nintendo may even buy the patent off you if you're able to patent it. Yeah, that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Joy-Con drift is a big problem. In fact, like I don't know how many pairs, maybe 20 pairs of Joy-Cons. Of my 20 pairs of Joy-Cons, I would say 5 of them had Joy-Con drift. I did send them back to Nintendo. Nintendo fixed them and sent them back to me, and they worked fine. I haven't had drift on them since. I realized though that, you know, it can come back. It's not a permanent fix, but I haven't had any issues with it. In post to replace the main plastic. Yeah, I mean, you could replace main plastic. It's a possibility for sure. Again, if there's a market for it, absolutely. There's clearly a big market for like skins. Skins are huge. People love to skin their stuff. There's a lot of different brands for skinning your Switch and consoles and phones that are out there right now, and I'm actually really surprised how big that market is. So maybe the shell market would be healthy because I don't really prefer. I don't like skins. They're temporary. I've used them. They work okay in the grip. Sometimes they work good, sometimes they don't. It just depends on, I don't know, I guess the material or something, or the thickness of the material. But I'm not a huge skin fan. But I do like the idea of like these. So these are painted. These came from, there's a guy on Etsy called XL Team who makes custom Joy-Cons. They're crazy expensive, but we usually do them for our special editions. just because they make it look a little bit cooler. And so these are just painted shells. But if we could manufacture different shells, that would be cool. You guys, I was ready to end the stream like 30 minutes ago, but now all the questions come alive. I love the story about what happened at E3. Are you trying to get at E3? Yeah, at E3, I would strongly consider E3 in 2023. The only downside is we moved from the West Coast to the East Coast now. And so like we were really close to E3 before being in California. And now I'm like on the opposite end of the US, and it's a lot. It was a lot of work. It was fun though. I would consider it. I would say 50-50 on E3 for 2023. I think it's returning. Yeah, I could see E3 returning. I really liked it. I completely enjoyed it. I'm going to Gamescom this year, so in a couple weeks I'll be at Gamescom in Germany. Hey, what up, Jimmy? Jim Theory, welcome. Yeah, so I'll check out Gamescom. I'm gonna see what that's about. I've tried a few other ones. There's one I really like actually. Too Many Games, the event in Philly. Too Many Games was actually a really cool event. I like that a lot. So I may consider doing a Too Many Games booth as well. Yeah, it is. We got a lot of publicity last time we were there. Honestly, though, at the end of the day, most of it really didn't amount to too much. It was really fun. It was a really cool experience. I'm glad we did it. I 100% don't regret it. We sold a lot of grips too while we were there. In fact, we sold a grip every 60 seconds while we were there from start to finish. And that was like 3 days straight. It was, and because I had figured out like how many hours and how many minutes were we there each day, and then we divided that by how many products we sold, and it was literally every minute we were checking out. So the good news is it was crazy expensive though. And in all honesty, I think we broke even. But it was cool. Did you make any announcements about the Switch dock replacement shell kit? Oh yeah, so the Switch dock replacement shell with the grip attached. We talked about that in the Discord. I mean, people already make really good shells, and the shells, that one shell, in fact, I'll go grab it right now. Hold on. Okay, I forget who makes this shell, but this shell here, which is all over Amazon. Let me see. Come on, click in. Right, so this is all over Amazon. It's really cheap. It works with our grip. Now, the only thing I did to it though, let me switch cams. I'll go to the overhead cam so you guys can see. Let's turn that one on. Okay. So the only thing I did to this guy was I just added some feet onto it. And actually, I got this idea from Rich at Review Tech. He showed me his, and he just added these little feet onto the bottom of it. But what it did was it made it much more stable. So with the switch and the grip, put it down. Well, that's a bad example, but it holds up. It works. This is what I use. I don't know. When someone makes something really good, like I'm not really incentivized to just come in and copy them. I don't like the idea of copying other people. You know, as someone who gets copied all the time by random companies in China, mostly, I just don't like the idea. I like to come up with original ideas. I think this was a great original idea that someone came up with. And to be honest, I'd rather just support them and their original idea, which I think is a great idea. And it really wasn't that hard to replace it. So that's what I use. That's what I recommend. I don't think we'll ever make one unless, I don't know. And I don't want to make a dock either, because there was so much drama about docks and bricking switches. Hey, Phil, I know you're trying. Kawika, no, I'm here as long as you guys want me here. So if you keep me engaged, I will stay here. Thank you, though. I appreciate that, Kawika, and thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate that. I shared a shell that works but needs modification because the back bar of the grips is in the way. Kyle, share that again and at me in Discord, just so I can see that. Yeah, and I agree, Kyle, for sure. I'd rather just use the OEM dock and just put it in a new shell, because I think Nintendo should make this shell. Like, this is stupid. Like, this is great. I would much rather have this than what they give. I don't like that big hunky piece of plastic that's useless. That's my opinion, but I think yeah, that's just my opinion. Maybe my opinion's a little skewed because this works with my grip. I will say, though, in regards to other third-party docks, I've used a lot of third-party docks, and I've never bricked a Switch. I've never had any issues with it, but I've heard of some problems, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Ghostman Corn. Hey Phil, first time on the stream. Have you ever given thought about making your own version of a charging grip, like a G case? Great question. I have thought about doing charging grips, and at the end of the day, I don't like them, and I'll tell you why. One, our grip alone adds a nice piece of bulk and weight to your Nintendo Switch. When you throw a battery on there, it gets really, really heavy. And on top of getting heavy, it gets really hot. I've actually prototyped it. I've already R&D'd this. And I kind of threw it away because at the end of the day, it's really kind of gimmicky. That's why we have the right angle. We sell those right angles that plug in here. When I'm on a plane, I take this, I'm going to be flying to Germany pretty soon. I'm going to take my Switch with me. It's going to be in a grip, and I'm going to have a battery with me. I'm going to have my Elite bundle, so I'm going to have the battery already built inside of that case, and there's the cable there that comes with it. I'm going to plug in, and the case is going to sit on my lap while I play, and I'm just going to be chilling playing while the thing's charging. It doesn't really make sense to put more weight unnecessarily on your Switch. Like, in what case scenario, if you can think think about it realistically, if you're taking your Switch somewhere, are you anywhere that you can't just set a battery down next to you and run a cable into it? Like you just need to take just the grip and only the grip with your Switch. That case scenario, it just doesn't really pan out. The more I thought about it, the more it just seemed kind of gimmicky, and I don't really want to do gimmicky. Also, the heat is a big deal, and the Switch gets really hot, and our grip is designed to help dissipate that heat, and it does a really good job of it. So I wouldn't want to add more heat onto the back of that thing if I could avoid it. Let me go through these questions. Can you switch? Can I see your Switch again? Oh, yeah, for sure. So this is my Switch with custom Joy-Cons on them. These are, I like these Joy-Cons. Let me switch cams. I like these Joy-Cons, but I would recommend, I got these in the, what's the word I'm looking for? The shiny stuff. Not matte. I would recommend them in matte. Unless you like the shine. I've had these in matte before, and I like them in matte better, but they do look cool. I love black Joy-Cons. I think black Joy-Cons look dope with the system. Pop that off. I heard, let's see. Yeah, that Oivo created an asymmetric grip with a kickstand. The kickstand was kind of flimsy. Yeah. So Oivo just basically straight up copied our design. They're just a company out of China. If you've ever, again, I buy every product that hits the market that's Switch related or anything related to like what we make. And I don't mind talking trash on like things that are crap. It's a pile of crap. It's so flimsy. Like it just reminds me of, like, I don't know, for some reason when I was a kid, I remember McDonald's toys kind of being kind of cool. Maybe it's because I was only like 8 years old. But and then when I get McDonald's toys for my kids now, I look at that thing, I'm just thinking, these are so cheap. Like, what happened to these things? They used to be so good, or I remembered them being so good. Maybe it's just my memory. But so now when I hold products. I feel like there's a lot of products out there that feel like McDonald's toys. And I can tell, having manufactured things now and knowing where money goes into making products and how much money goes into making a product. And the more, bottom line is, the more material you use, the more expensive the product. The more premium materials you use, the more expensive the product. And when you look at a grip like Oivo, it's really clear. I mean, they're probably spending less than $1 to manufacture that thing, and ours cost 5 to 6 times more than that. And it just, when you hold a Satisfye grip in your hand and you hold a competitor's grip in your hand, there is a huge difference. And I would encourage anybody to do that, to try it, and just see what that's like. It's really interesting. It's kind of mind blowing if you have the money to spend on a cheaper grip, just for the sake of the experiment. Done and done. Pinged on Discord. Thanks, Kyle. Jim, my OMN Swipstock stopped transmitting to the TV. Oh, that's weird. Huh. I've never, probably maybe an HDMI cable. I don't know. That's why the Elite case is the best. You put your battery in there. Yeah, my Elite case, whenever I go on long trips, it's the Elite case for sure all day long, because I want that battery bank in there, and I want to be able to charge up. Glossy, yeah, Kawika, thank you. Glossy was what I was trying to say. I bought a micro SD on Amazon and all my games downloaded. Oh, wow. Gym Theory, that's painful. That is, you know, that sucks. Birdman, I have not tried the fixture S1 or S2. I did meet, actually, the guy who created the fixture. I met him at E3 and he showed me his prototype. And I just kind of encouraged him with, you know, what I did to start the business. And I told him, you know, if it's the same guy, I'm pretty sure it was. He was. I'm happy for him. It looks like he really tried to make a good product. I am not a fan myself. Like, I prefer just to take the Switch with me, but I like the idea, and I like that his was an original idea. Of all products, though, I have not tried that one, and I do need to try that one. I prefer to just use the Joy-Cons, though, personally. You can tell the Satisfye grip is quality materials. That's why I love them. Yeah. If you ever want to, I mean, you guys can take this apart. Like, if you unscrew all the screws on it, you're really not going to break it. Just don't strip them, because I don't got replacements for you. But when you take this apart, you can see it's interesting. The thickness of the plastic. When I was making the first generation grip, when my factory first sent it to me, because by default, usually what they'll do, most factories, typically in China, they will create something like that's like their brains instantly go to cheapest first, always cheapest first. And I remember feeling it, thinking this doesn't feel good. Like, increase the material. I had to increase the material 6 times, and what I was doing was I was taking the grip outside, and it pained me to do this. But because it cost me so much money back then. But I threw them in the air and I just watch them fall on the ground. And if they broke, I'd say, no, we can't thicken the material. And so that's actually the process we went to. I want to run over one of these. I think I could run over this grip with a car and it would stay intact. I should do like a TikTok video for that, a little short. Ghostly Knit. Oh, Eli, you can tell. Yeah. Thank you, Eli, for that, by the way. Ghostly Nick, I had to wait 3 weeks for Zen grips for my OLED after I bought it. Spent like 30 bones on a Zen grip temporarily. Zen grips are literally 10 times better. Oh, yeah. Oh, a non-Zen. Yeah. Okay. So you bought a cheap solution, Ghostly Nick. I gotcha. Yeah. They really are. They literally are 10 times better, and they literally cost me 10 times more to manufacture, and that's why they are. They're premium materials. That's why we have to charge what we charge. We use more materials. Material cost goes up. Our cost has to go up. But you get what you pay for sure. That's true, Jim. You know, what I may do, rather than doing it, if I run it over this way, that would suck. If I run it over this way, well, that might happen, but I think it'll be worth it. I think I need to try. It would make for a good video. Kawika, you got the OG grip for your Switch, but you do have a new OLED about to upgrade. But I gotta say, Gen 1 to Gen 2 grips, I like the extra meat. We need to do, yeah. I have heard that. I personally prefer the Gen 2 style over the Gen 1. The Gen 1 did have more meat. In fact, the mini grip is Well, here, let's see. We can just pop that over. The mini grip is using the Gen 1 design over the Gen 2. And Gen 3 is actually a little bit different than Gen 2 even. But the changes are much more mild. So you do have more meat on that right side. What I didn't like about it on the mini grip, you never notice it and you actually never feel it. But for me, it was this hard line right here that it just wore me out too much. And then I did a lot of testing. And even though the meat was there and it was nice, actually, when we did testing, a lot of like user-based testing, we found that this angle here actually allowed for less fatigue longer than this angle. This angle pushed your wrist out just a little bit too many degrees, like a couple of degrees too many. And so over a longer period of time, you would have less fatigue with this design than you would with this design, which is why we did the change. Because at the end of the day, we're all about like ergonomics and comfort and taking the science of what we learn and applying that to our products. So, but I hear you. We could always do a big Duke version. It's definitely something that could be done for sure. If there's demand for it. That's the question. Is there demand for it? So if there's demand for it, we'll do it. So if you guys really want that Duke version, make a lot of noise in the Discord server. Eli, I'm just going to say L. I'm going to call you L for short because I don't know what the rest of that is. Or main corn. Have you ever thought of making a system where a customer can make their Zen grip colors the way they want and submit it to be made? Yeah, we have looked into that, kind of like how Xbox is doing now. I don't know how they're doing that. I'm really confused how they're doing that, to be honest. But I would love to eventually get to the point where we could do like those on-demand custom colors because I think that's really cool. And I would like to see that a lot more. And in lieu of doing that, like aside from having that, one thing that we really want to do is, so we release a special edition usually once a year. There's always a special edition once a year minimum. I'm kind of thinking about doing special edition grips, maybe 2, even 3 times a year. But so the special edition for the holiday season, that's always going to be something I think that kind of like Team Satisfye is picking. But the other 2 grips, I'd love to have like user, like everybody's feedback, like run a poll. What colors do you want next? We really want to do more of a feminine grip for sure. We've never done like a really nice, like pink or something, you know, and I know like pink's a really hot color, especially if you're looking for that feminine style grip. And it's definitely something that I want to do. So yeah, we will, since we can't do this on demand, like pick your own custom colors and have them done, at least not yet. What I plan on doing in the future is doing some polls and getting your guys' vote and letting you guys pick what the next custom color is, and then doing a short run for those. Gen 2 is a superior product. I had Gen 1 and switched immediately. Kyle, that was my experience too. I thought it was just a much better product. But one thing I love like Kuika, I love that you still have the original grip that we made 3-4 years ago now. That just attests to the quality of the build, the materials, and I love that. And that's, I mean, to my own detriment, I would much, I mean, as a business, I'd rather sell something that breaks that you've got to buy again, but that's not the right way to do business. And I like to make things that are going to last forever if you want it to last forever. Let's see, considering an Oivo asymmetrical. I was considering buying an Oivo asymmetrical grip. After reading the reviews, I found that the kickstand worked well for a while, but it lost. Yeah, the way, and that's why I don't do a kickstand like the Oivo does a kickstand on their grip, is because it's flimsy, it's cheap, and it's going to break. The more things you introduce into something, the more break points and failure points you introduce. So, you know, there's really not much that can go wrong and fail on this grip. It's been perfect. We had a great design to begin with, but then with all that user feedback, we perfected it over the last 2 generations, so that it's just this rock solid ass grip. To introduce anything more, I'll tell you why Oivo put a kickstand on this and why they put game card slots in here, because they're trying to make it seem like it's better than ours. That's the only reason why they did that. They didn't do it because it was a good idea. They didn't do it because they did it to differentiate themselves, to make themselves stand out aside from us. And that's really why they did that. And at the end of the day, that's a bad reason to introduce features into your design. because you end up with features that are honestly half-assed. They're Mickey Mouse. They don't really work, and I don't ever want to sell something that doesn't work 100% of the time. It's not worth it, especially when we're trying to really focus on our brand and taking care of our customers and offering really good support. That's, night and day. But if you're in China, you have no way of contacting them, and you're okay with, buying cheap, something that's going to break, and you'll just buy it again. Like, that's cool too. Like, to each his own. Well, that's just not for us. Would you ever release a Zen grip with an adjustable kickstand and game storage like the Oivo? Yeah, so the problem with the kickstand is it's always going to break, as I just said. The problem with game storage for me is what happens when that storage fails and your games start falling out. Like, am I to blame when your games get lost? And I don't want to be to blame for making something that doesn't work extremely well. I don't know. I would feel horrible if people were messaging me or commenting or leaving reviews like, "Oh my God, I lost 5 of my games." It's one of those things that's really not worth it unless it can be done absolutely right. I would consider card storage, maybe. If we ever do a Gen 4, I might try to include that if it can be done absolutely perfectly. Gen 1 OG grip, yeah, still fire. Hey, Ghostly Nick, that's dope. It survived Afghan at Kosovo. That's cool, man. I'm really glad to hear that. That's awesome. Let's see. Nice. 2019. You have the 2019 holiday version, and I love it. 2019 holiday edition. That was the which holiday edition was that? L. Are you gonna make a Splatoon 3 grip? I may do a Splatoon 3 themed grip, maybe. It's obviously not going to have anything relating to Splatoon on it, because Nintendo will slap that down. But yeah, we could follow like the color scheme for sure. Is it going to be this year? I can already say there's not going to be a Splatoon theme grip this year, but I may consider it for next year. I'm actually a big Splatoon fan myself. I love Splatoon 2 and played the hell out of it. So I would definitely consider that for sure. Yeah, you're right. Eli, third-party accessories from the 90s still work today. The stuff was just made way better back then, and people cared. Maybe it's because it was cheaper to make. I don't know. I wasn't making products back then. But I don't like the way that things are made now. I don't like how everything's just super cheap and it's going to break. I'd rather just suck it up, buy once, cry once, and be done and be super happy with the purchase that I got, because I hate like buying something and then having that, that always like, I feel like there might be something better. I hate that feeling. So I've just learned over the years, just buy the one that you really, really want. And if you can't afford it, stop, wait, and save up, and then buy it. Eleghost. Eleghost. L. We're just going to say L. We'll go with L. The Frost version. Oh, yeah, if memory serves me. Okay, yeah, 2019 Frost version. Yeah, that was a great version. I love that. Metro X. No new cases. We might update the slim case, as I talked about earlier, but no new cases coming anytime soon. We're always working on things, though. I am working on a different case, but will it ever come out? Will it ever see the light of day? I don't know. Half the stuff that we end up R&Ding ends up going into like the R&D graveyard, as I call it. But we're always checking and trying new things. I would love to do like a high quality case, like more of like a leather case, something that could be made in the US. It's something I'd love to do. So we'll see. Thank you, Metro X, by the way. Glad to hear our products are the best. I think they are the best too. At least we try in the niches that we are in. I'm very happy with the quality of our Zen grip. I'm very happy with the quality of our cases and the quality of our rise pads. So I put my my name and stamp of approval on those. I'm glad you guys think so too. Leather would be awesome. I agree. Leather would be awesome. And I've looked into, you know, what's funny, just to go on a side tangent, there is leather and then there's like vegan leather, right? And I like the idea of both, but I actually, after looking into it and figuring out what vegan leather was, I don't like the idea of it at all. Like, I like leather, you know, if you love animals and, you know, you don't want to kill them and you don't like leather, like, that's totally cool. I completely appreciate that and understand that. But one thing that you have to say about leather is it's organic. And at the end of the day, that's going to deteriorate over time and just kind of dissolve back into nature. Whereas vegan leather, I didn't realize this, it's actually made out of plastic, like a lot of plastic, and it's not going to deteriorate like regular leather will. So just a total random side note, I considered making a case out of vegan leather and decided against it because of that reason. I don't like all the plastics in it. If I'm going to go leather, we're going to go all the way. And it's going to be high quality leather too. I don't want to do cheap leather. The first Switch grip I owned had 2 game cartridge spots that were stored under the Joy-Cons. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. I could see a feature like that. As long as it's like something that's really secure, I think that's pretty neat. If we ever do Gen 4, I will strongly consider putting game cards somewhere on there. Somewhere. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody have any more questions? You guys are coming up with really good questions. I appreciate all the questions here. Real leather or go home. Love that statement. Yeah. Black leather inside red. That would be dope. I think that would be super, super hot. The only problem with leather is leather's expensive. But I don't know. I'm kind of bougie. I like leather. Like, I just love everything about me and my own personality. I love things that are made out of quality. I like buying things that are really well made. And yeah, they're expensive, but you can look at it, you can feel it, and you just kind of like, you know, you buy a wallet or something. And when you buy a really nice wallet that's made out of a really nice leather, it's just something that you always just kind of look at and admire, and the build quality that goes into it and all the hard work and love that went into it. So I really appreciate stuff like that. I don't know how well expensive items like that would sell in general, but I think that would be freaking fantastic. Zen Grip brand leather side satchel for your Switch. Yeah. And that's actually kind of more of like the line that where we would go. I dropped several hundos on that. All right, Ghostly Nick, if you drop several hundos on that, all right. All right. It sounds like we need to start making some better stuff. Although I will say what we do make now, I mean, you guys know this too. Like, our cases are top of the line. Literally, they have, when I talk about how much material goes into something that actually makes it more expensive, we put a buttload of materials. In fact, our EVA cases, that's what this is called. It's an EVA case. We put the maximum amount of EVA into these cases that you possibly can to provide the most rigidity in it. In fact, it's so much that we have to hire special people. When these are sewn, a lot of them are hand sewn or machine sewn. But like, there's like certain parts that have to be hand sewn because the machine can't get in certain cuts. And it's really difficult to sew into these, and it requires special labor. So like, everything that goes into these is top-notch materials. It's like the most expensive materials that we can afford, that we can buy, that are available to us. Even our cases are going to be, in a quality standpoint, night and day above the competition. Let's see. Would love a Splatoon 3 grip to match the upcoming. Yeah. If I did do a Splatoon 3 grip, we would do it kind of like how we did the tropical editions, where we matched the game. I would do the same thing for sure. And a matching case would be cool, but again, cases are those things that, like, if you already have 1, 2, or 3, do you really want to buy another one? So standalone, would I do it? Yeah, absolutely, we'll do it. I think a Splatoon 3 themed grip would be pretty cool. My brother-in-law has a company that makes leather products. Hit him. Okay, Kawika, send me a DM in Discord, and I'll reach out for Sir. Yeah, Metro, the classic case. That was the first case I ever made. I actually wish I had to take the video down for I can't say. I can't say why I had to take it down. I had to take the video down. I'll just leave it at that. Someone made me take it down because of words that were used in that video. But I wish we still had that up because that was the very first YouTube video I ever uploaded. That brings back good memories. And I feel like I look a lot younger in that video. That was like, I remember, so the reason why I started Satisfye, the company, was I got well, first I was fired from my job and I needed to figure something out. I had never done anything in manufacturing. I came from a completely different industry. I was in the telecom industry as a director of sales. And I remember getting the Nintendo Switch day one and using it and thinking, and so I bought some accessories for it because I'm like, you know, you need accessories for your Switch. I need a case. And so the case was actually one of the first things I got for it. And I remember looking at all the cases I was getting on Amazon that had like 5,000 5-star reviews. And so I get this thing, I'm like, what the hell? How does this have 5,000 5-star reviews? This is cheap. It feels like shit. And I just didn't understand. And so I thought, I feel like I can make something better than this. Like, this is garbage. And I was really unhappy with, you know, I mean, I guess you get what you pay for. You're paying $10 for a case. Like, the cases that we make cost $10 to make. So you get what you pay for. But so that was like my first attempt at trying to do something that was different and better and higher quality than what was on the market. And while at the same time I had come up with that case, I was also feeling like, oh my God, this Switch feels so uncomfortable in my hands. I hate the way this feels. So again, I went on Amazon, I started buying accessories, and I quickly realized these accessories that were like designed to improve the feel of the Switch were literally made by people who've never felt one before in their life. They just had a 3D file of what it was and an idea. And they felt like garbage. So I thought, shit, I think I can do better. And that's where the company was born, from the thought that I thought I could do better. And now I've got all you awesome customers to thank. Yeah. And everything was a learning experience. I did not know how to make websites. I did not know how to do a lot of things. I kind of knew how to take pictures. I was like an okay photographer. And so I made my own website on Shopify. It was like, our first website was super janky, but hey, it worked. I watched a lot of videos on like how to do an e-commerce business and how to start an Amazon business. And there was a lot of good stuff in there. And even some of the good stuff, like there was a lot of like technical things that were very helpful in that. I literally just spent like a year learning. But one thing that came from like some of those videos were like just the encouragement, like, hey, just keep pushing, like don't stop, don't quit, don't give up. Like you got to break through that barrier. That I think was some of the most valuable things that I got out of those videos. And very grateful for those people who created those videos just for that reason. Because starting your own business is hard. It's difficult. Doing anything on yourself, you know, it is difficult. Doing life is difficult sometimes, and you got to push through and just keep going. And most important, you got to stay positive and believe that you're going to succeed. Because when you start letting those thoughts and doubts and fears and worries just like crowd your mind, which they just come to everybody, they man, that just destroys your world, the world that you're trying to create. So that speaks to anybody. Don't dwell on negative thoughts. If they come to your head, kick them out as soon as you can. We used to call it stinking thinking. But yeah, it's something to avoid at all costs. And it happened even to this day after doing this business for 4 years now. They still come to me. Fears, doubts, worries. It's a roller coaster, man. I agree. It is a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. Business is a roller coaster, ups and downs. Everything is. And you just got to roll with the punches. That's all you can do. Roll with the punches. Stay positive. Just keep your mindset right. Like that's like the best piece of advice that I could ever give anybody is really protect what you think about. And and if bad thoughts come to your head, negative thoughts, or because it's so easy, you could drown yourself. There's some times where I'm just like overwhelmed with stress and these like really difficult situations that you just think of like the worst case scenario, where the business is going to fail and all this is going to happen. And the more I think about it, just that like you just feel heavy, really heavy, and it just keeps weighing on you and weighing on you. And it's really easy to think about those thoughts, and it's really hard to think about positive thoughts like, no, we're going to get through this, we're going to crush it, we're going to and not look at that. And it's even harder to do when like reality is staring you in the face and like yelling at you and telling you like, no, like, dude, this is reality, this is the way it is. And but over the years I've learned like even set reality aside and just focus your mind, focus your thoughts, and life will go well. Have you ever thought about doing reruns of limited editions that you've done before, but with improvements like Gen 3? Yes, that's a really, really good question. And the answer is yes. Yeah. Only for like some of like just the hottest ones. There's one in particular that I would love to do again, just because it's in Gen 3 now. So yeah. Yes. Ooh, I have been drinking a lot of liquids and definitely have to go to the bathroom. Any other questions? I wish I could share more things with you guys, like about like products that we're working on. If there was like a safe place where I knew my competitors weren't watching and going to steal ideas from us, I would share so much more with you guys. But I always have to be careful about that. I can only reveal so many things. Any other questions that you guys have? Feel free. Otherwise, we could probably wrap it up. Actually, been going for a little over an hour now, so that's cool. You guys have been really awesome, by the way. Thank you for all of your questions. Thank you for all of your engagement. It's really good, and I really appreciate it. And don't forget, like, let's keep talking about all these topics that we've talked about now. We can continue talking about them in Discord. I'm in Discord every day. I have Discord up 24/7 on my computer when I'm working, and I'm looking at all your guys' messages in every channel. So anybody who posts anything there, I'm watching it, and everything is being listened to and heard in a good way, not like a crazy, freaky, weird Big Brother way. What else we got? Have you ever when Kawika? When do you think something new will drop? When do I think something new things will drop? We have something new dropping this year. A special edition Zen Grip Gen 3. A new color. Outside of the new colors, I don't know. We might actually drop another new product this year. I shouldn't say I don't know. There may be one ready. It just depends if we can get it ready in time for holiday season. That has to happen now. Usually when you want to get stuff to be sold during the holiday season, you've got to start working on that really no later than, well, today. Like today is like kind of like you got to get things moving forward quick. August is the time to finish all that stuff up. So there may be something new. Eli, yeah, keep up the good work. Looking forward to seeing what's next. Thank you. Nice hanging out with you. All right, you guys, it was great hanging with you. Thank you so much. Don't forget, if you're watching this after the live stream, we'll do another one of these. Go to the Discord channel, join the Discord server. If you haven't got our emails, we've been emailing about it. I think we've emailed it twice now with links. I do think the Discord email links, the links that we can create are non-permanent though. I think they expire, which sucks. So if anybody out there is on Discord and wants to help boost our server, we need a lot more boosts in order to get that custom link feature. So I don't really like the way that Discord does that, but it is what it is. And we do need that custom link feature enabled. And I think you got to get like 15 boosts. We're at 3 maybe right now. So if you can boost it. Appreciate that. And follow us at Satisfye Gaming everywhere. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys in the next video.